up, you guys? It's the Garnisha and I'm back with another video. So today I am actually coming to you guys with something a little bit different from me. I don't normally talk about this, but today I wanted to talk about it, so here we go. Today I will be talking about how I passed my HESI test and what I did to prepare for the HESI test and what I used to prepare for the HESI test. So I'll just start with basically the first thing I did. So this is basically just a printout from the college website of what you need for the HESI test. It tells you things about the HESI test, who needs to take the HESI test, like what majors need to even take this test to begin with. So the majors that need to take this test is all students applying for registered nursing associate degree program, all students applying for the practical nursing technical diploma program, all students applying for the surgical technology certificate of technical studies program. So that's all the people who need to take the HESI test at my particular college. I do go to a community college, so but that's for my particular college. It says what subjects are covered on the test. So for my college, for registered nurse and surgical tech, you need to take math, reading comprehension, grammar, vocabulary, biology, and anatomy and physiology. And it's a 5-hour exam. You get 5 hours to take the exam. And for the practical nursing program, it's still 5 hours. And it's math, reading comprehension, grammar, vocabulary, and biology. So, from my knowledge, I want to say it wasn't timed by the section. So you had however much time to take the section that you needed, but you only had 5 hours to take the full exam. But I would say call the testing center at your school and ask them what how they have the time broken up to take the test. Like, do you have a certain amount of time to take each section of the test, or do you just have 5 hours to take the full exam? But from my school, I want to say it was just 5 hours to take the full exam, but just call your school and see. And then it tells you the locations of where you could take it at. Also, it says the cost, how much it costs. It costs $60 and it's non-refundable. So if you miss the day of your test, if you miss the day and the time of your test, then you don't get your $60 back. So basically that's what they say. It tells you what you need to prepare for the HESI test. On here it says there are study preparation materials. The HESI study guide is available to purchase at, and then it says my school bookstore, and then it says online, and then it have a website that says elzyverhealth.com. I'm gonna put the link somewhere in this video. I mean, not the link, the website, and then I'll put the link in the description box. But it says elzyverhealth.com. There is also a HESI exam prep app available in the app store, so you can get an app in the app store. Okay, so then it says the minimum scores that you need to attain to be considered for the various programs. For registered nurse, the composite score of 70 or greater. For practical nursing, composite score of 65% or greater. Surgical tech, composite score of 70 or greater. So I'm applying for the LPN program, so I only had to make 65% or greater. So that is what I was trying to accomplish when I was studying this test. However, I wanted to get the best score that I could get, but I mean, I knew that I only needed a 65, so but I did study very hard, and I studied every day, and I read the whole exam book, I studied everything in the exam book. I watched YouTube videos on like what people studied and how people studied and stuff like that. So I was really on my stuff. I mean, I wanted to get as high as I could get, but 65 is good enough for me. I'm not complaining. So yeah, I just wanted to make that part clear to you all when I show you what my scores was and everything. Like, I just want you to understand, like, okay, this is what I studied and you know what I used to study and everything. So hopefully it makes sense as the video goes on. Okay, so then it says how do I check available dates and sign up for the HESI exam, and then they have a link to click to go to the website. Okay, it says what happens after a test. It says students will be given the results of their exams immediately after testing. All HESI exam are responsible for turning in a copy of their scores with their application packet and must check with, and then they say the program, to receive all proper information and guidelines for admission to their chosen program. Testing does not advise candidates to It says testing does not advise candidates of their status or the program of their so they're just letting you know they do not provide if you're gonna get in the program. All right, and then they have the other centers or whatever, all the centers that you could go to get testing at. They have the phone number and the address. Okay, so then at the bottom it says please do not bring any food, drinks, cell phones, purses, wristlets, or bags into the testing center. The only thing you are required to have on test day are your completed application, 2 photo IDs, and a non-programmable calculator. Okay, so I did bring a calculator. I used the calculator that I had because since I knew I could bring a calculator, that's what I used to study with, so that's what I brought with me. But you don't have to bring a calculator, because I think they have calculators at the place and they'll let you use it. But I brought my own personal calculator, but that's fine. I went up there. Okay, when I paid for my test, I asked them if I could use this calculator before I even started studying or anything. So when I went to pay for my test, I had my calculator already with me because I read all this before I even went to the testing thing. I read this. So I went there with my calculator and I asked them, can I use it? They said yes. So that's what I used to study with. Okay, you need 2 forms of ID. I had my social security card and my school ID. I had my regular driver's license. But you need your social security card. I think you maybe could use your birth certificate. I wouldn't recommend that. I would just say have your social security card, or maybe like a bank card, like your debit card, and your ID. And that's 2 forms of identification. That's good enough. Alright, so that's all of what I printed out from the school website on the test. Alright, so now let's get into the part about what I used to study. So this is what I used to study. I used this book here, and this is just the HESI Evolve Reach powered by HESI Admission Assessment Exam Review book, 2nd edition. It says Mobley Evisler. I guess that's the website that I posted, that I put in the beginning part when I was talking about it earlier. Okay, so that's where you can get this book if you want to get a brand new copy. You go to that website that I listed before and you can get a brand new copy. I will be telling you how much I paid for my book, where you can go and get a book similar to this and for the same price from Barnes and Noble. Okay, so but anyway, so this is the book that I used. Okay, this book has different sections. So when you go to the front page, well, not the front page, but when you scroll, through the book, it's going to tell you, when you get to the first part of the book where it says preface right here, it's going to say what's all the book is all about. And the sections in the book is mathematics, reading, vocabulary, grammar, biology, chemistry, anatomy and physiology, and physics. Okay, so that's the different sections that's in the book. Now let's go back to the paper that we printed off the computer. So the paper that we printed off the computer says the subjects that are covered on the test. So my school, for the program that I am applying to, the only subjects that I need to study is math, reading, comprehension, grammar, vocabulary, and biology. This book has mathematics, reading, vocabulary, grammar, biology, chemistry, anatomy and physiology, and physics. Now, I'm glad that I printed this out, because if I didn't have this, I wouldn't know, and then I would study this whole book. And then when I got to the test, I wouldn't know what was going on, because I would have been to study all this stuff and trying to cram all this stuff in there, and I only needed to learn one thing. Now, the only thing that I have to study is math, reading, vocabulary, grammar, and biology. So that's what I studied. Okay. In this book, everything was pretty self-explanatory. I mean, I went through every single section and I answered every question in the book, in the sections that I had to learn. And I studied this one book, and then when I felt like, I wanted to go back, I would go over the same questions. Now, I didn't write in the book. When I got the book was already written in. I do have like little parts of the book that was written in, but mind you, I got this book for $3 off of Barnes and Noble's website. So I wasn't really upset, because they had writing in the book, and it says they'll let you know that it may be damaged or whatever is used, whatever. I don't care. It was $3 and I needed a book. This book, I mean, it have writing in it and stuff, it's fine. But so anyway, so whatever writing that I seen in a book that bothered me, or it was something that I didn't like, I just erased it. And if it was like a highlighter or something like that, I just kind of looked over it and just didn't even pay no attention. Or I just made my own like mark with a highlighter to just kind of know for myself if I needed to, or I would just make a marking so that I can understand in my handwriting. But for the most part, I just read through the book, and whatever I had a question about, I would write it down, I would look it up, and I would look up answers to the questions. But for the most part, it was pretty easy. Okay, so now for the biology section, I felt like they didn't have enough information. I wasn't really understanding how to answer the questions, and I mean, some of the questions I already knew, because I already took A&P when I already took biology, and I took A&P at this point. So, and I took A&P2 at this point. So I already was kind of familiar with the terminology in the biology section. However, I felt like I needed to challenge myself a bit more. So what I did was I went to Quizlet website, and I just typed in Quizlet HESI A2 or HESI biology, and I printed out all of the questions. And after I read the section, because the section was quite small, I feel like it didn't really have enough information for me personally, because you don't know what questions these people gonna ask you. So when I would take like the practice exam, they would have questions that I wouldn't know, because the book ain't really giving me no not a lot. It's not giving you a lot of information. So I typed in HESI A2 biology, or I typed in HESI biology's flashcards. So I printed them all out, and this is just all of them, and I went through, and all of the ones that I went through, I just read them. I tried to like highlight what I felt like was important, or underline, or whatever, and I just read through all of them, and I just tried to understand. Now this is like some vocabulary words in biology that you may need to know, and so I read all of these and I tried to understand, and this is what I did, and I printed this out. You could go to the library and print it out. You could print it out at home for free. Anyway, you could print for free. Print this out, and this could help you. Yeah. So I did also take a practice exam. I want to say they had a website. Oh man, I don't know if I still have the. I don't know if I still have the paper with the website that I used to take the practice exam. Matter of fact, I think the website that I used to take the practice exam was through my school. So you may just need to contact your school and ask them, do they have a practice exam that they have for the students that's going to take the HESI. So another resource that I used was my old biology book, and this was an old biology book that I had from another college. I mean, not another college, another semester. And I used this in my biology class when I first started trying to go to school for nursing. So this was a little cheap book. I think I paid $2 for this book. Yeah, and it was cheap. It actually was in better condition than what it's in now, but it is kind of raggedy. But it was $2, and I needed this for a class that I wound up getting a B in the class. So this book was pretty good. Yeah, it was good enough for my class. It was the edition that I needed, and it's a little raggedy, but it was $2 versus $160. So I took this. So this is the book that I had. If you do not have an old biology book or a biology book that you're using, if you do not have one of these, you can go to the thrift store and look around, because sometimes the thrift stores may have like old biology books. This book is by Raven Johnson, Mason, Lagos, and Singer. Um, this is the book. It's the 9th edition. You can look for maybe a book by these people. If you want to, I will put the ISBN number in a video somewhere so you can see what the ISBN number is on this book. But this is the book, and I'll put the ISBN number somewhere right here so you can see for yourself, and look on Barnes and Noble website. And when you go to Barnes and Noble website, I'm gonna put in some pictures. You go to Barnes and Noble website. Well, what I did was I went to Google. I typed in Barnes and Nobles, and I typed in textbooks. So it took me to the first page. It took me to on Google, and it had a list of different categories for Barnes and Noble's website. And then it says used books. So I clicked that. I clicked used books. So when I went to that part, I went to the search bar, and then I went and I typed in the ISBN code of this book. So this is the ISBN code for this book. I will leave the ISBN code for this book somewhere on the screen, probably on the book, so you can see what the ISBN code is. And so I went into Barnes and Noble's website, and I typed in the ISBN code into the thing. Okay, so then it showed me two results, I think. Okay, so when it show you the results, you click on that picture, and I know it's gonna say $33. However, when you scroll on the picture, it's somewhere on the screen, it's gonna have a box that say Marketplace. Click Marketplace. You can sort it to go from lowest to highest. That is what I do. When you sort it to go from lowest to highest, it's going to say $1.99 or $3.99. That is my price range. Okay. So I think you could get this book for like, I'm gonna say $5.99, $7. $7. You can get this book. If you don't want the biology book, you could get this book right here. I think right now you can get this book for $7, and that's including shipping. For this book right here by itself. Now this book here, I think you can get this exact book, and you can get this exact book for I think $2, and with shipping it'll probably be, I don't know, $7 too. Maybe $7 for this and $7. So each book would be $7, and if you get them together, you'll spend $14. I mean, I feel like for an exam that's going to determine if you're going to get into nursing school or surgical tech school, $15 is pretty well worth it, because I mean, imagine how much you're using on a regular just for regular school books. And I got this book for $7 that I had to use for an actual class, and it was $7, and at the bookstore that book was $160. So I mean, I just feel like this was worth it, and I got this not even related to the test. This was just something I already had. So if you just have these, things, and whatever you feel like you struggling in. Me personally, I struggle with biology. I didn't really like science, so I never was really into it. English, math, stuff like that. I felt like I was pretty confident with that, which now I know I probably could have did better with my math. But I mean, I knew exactly what percent I needed for each part of the test. Oh, and that's another thing I probably didn't mention. Okay, it tells you the composite score that you need, but on the thing, remember we printed this out? Hopefully y'all can see it, but it just shows you the composite score that you need for the exam. But when you go and meet with your counselor, which I would suggest that before you take any type of exams, and before you pay any money, before you sign up for any classes, please go and see your advisor or your counselor or whatever they call it at your school. Please go see them, because you do not want to just be taking stuff that you do not need. Please, 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 because you don't want to be spending money on classes that you don't need. Please, because I done did it enough. So I please, 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 for me, go see your advisor before you pay any money, before you spend any money, before you sign up for anything. Please go see your advisor and make sure what you're doing is right. Okay, so I went to my advisor, and my advisor gave me a paper, and on the paper it showed me what I needed for each part of the exam. So for each part of the exam, you have to get a minimum score. So this is my test results. I don't want y'all to see all my info. So each part of the exam, you get a percent. Okay, y'all can see this part. Okay, so for each part of the exam, y'all you get a percent. Okay, so you have to get a minimum of a certain percent on each part of the exam to get into the nursing program. So you need to contact the program that you are trying to get in, and you need to find out what is the minimum score that you need to get on your exam, so you can know what you're looking forward to. Okay, I went in there knowing exactly what I needed to get on my exam. I studied hard. I wanted to get the highest I could get because I wanted my scores to be very high, because when I was trying to get, well, we're not even going to talk about that. I just wanted my scores to be very high. Okay, so I studied a lot. You do not have to study as much as I did. I mean, I would recommend that you study as hard as I did, because I feel like I did pretty good. I didn't do the best. I mean, I didn't get all 100, but I did pretty good. I mean, I feel I got 100. 100. That's good. But you don't have to do as much as I did to study. Do what makes you feel comfortable. But try your best. Really, really try your best. Okay, so for my test scores, what I got on my HESI. Just a quick little glance of what I got on my HESI, and I'll post a picture so you can see, because I don't want to be putting all my student information out on the thing. So, but that's just what I made on the HESI. So for reading comprehension, I got a 90%. And says conclusions. This is all part of, okay, so reading comprehension included conclusions, meaning of words, implications, and understanding. So for reading comprehension, I got a 90%. So within reading comprehension, conclusions, I got a 75. The meaning of words, I got a 100. Implications, I got an 86. Understanding, I got a 95. So then they have grammar, and grammar I have a 78, which I don't speak well, so I understand that. Vocabulary and knowledge, I got a 92. I feel like that's pretty good to me. So for English language composite score, I got an 86. So that's pretty good to me. Biology, I got a 76%. That's pretty good to me because, like I said, I didn't really like biology. Biology not really my thing. And I tried to. Now I like biology. I didn't like biology at first. I did not like biology at first. Now I like biology and I like science. But if you not taught that as a child and you have very little knowledge of it, it's very difficult to understand. And if you wasn't really taught that, and I mean, I had biology class in high school, but it was kind of like, a little quick little class. It wasn't nothing that I had to do. But biology is something that you should have been taught, like, when you young, like, so you could understand the concepts. But I don't feel like I was really taught that, so I didn't really like biology. But like these past couple of semesters since I've been in school, really focusing, trying to get in nursing school or whatever, and really focusing on my biology classes. Because let me tell y'all, when I tried to get in nursing school, that lady had me taking so many I went to my advisor, which when I first started trying to go to nursing school, I wanted to do the RN program, but I should have done LPN program from the beginning, but whatever. So when I first started, I went to my advisor, and my advisor told me to the classes that I needed for the RN program. But see, if I would have known, okay, I should have went to open house. So I would say, before you do anything, go to open house. Go to the open house and see what it's about. Because each program, either at the end of the semester, the beginning of the semester, something like that, when you first start college, each program that you're in, I would recommend you do this at your freshman year. Your freshman year in college, when you first get into the school, you know what you want to go to school for. You want to go to school for nursing. You want to go to school for surgical tech. You want to go to school for whatever you want to go to school for. Know what you want to go to school for when you go to that school. So when you a freshman, I don't believe in just going for general studies. If you're gonna go to college, know what you're going to college for. That's what I honestly and personally feel. Now, when you go in your freshman year in college, it don't matter how old you is, how young you is. I don't care if you 18 years old. I don't care if you 57 years old. When you go to college, know what you're going to school for, okay? And stick with that. Stick with what you're going to school for. If you can. If you sticking to it, you doing your best in it, and you just not feeling it, and you really want to change your major, then by all means, I mean, you don't have to stick with that. But at least try your best to go to school for what you went to school for. That's my personal thing. I mean, I've been in school for a very long time, and I just feel like over the years of what I've learned, I would recommend that for anybody who this their first time going to college, okay? All right, so I would recommend your freshman year you go to open house. But I went to open house after I already decided that I was going to school. I hadn't been in school for 2 semesters by the time I went to open house. Now, I done told you supposed to go freshman year, but I was 2 semesters behind. Okay, so I went to open house. So when I went to open house, I learned out some information about basically I should have just went to the LPN program from the beginning. Okay, but nevertheless, at that point in time, I was going to school for RN. Okay, so while I was going to school, I had to take all these biology classes. So I had to start from biology, then I had to take AMP1, which I took, and then eventually I had to take AMP2, which I was going to take when I went to open house. But see, had I from the beginning went to the LPN program, everything would have been all right. However, I did not. But so anyway, so I took biology, I took anatomy, so I'm taking all these biology classes, and as I'm taking these classes, I'm just starting to get a love for for the science of it. So I really I like the science of it, so that's just my thing. But anyways, back to my scores, y'all, because I done went into a whole tangent about something whole else. Okay, so what else I made? In math, I made a 78. I feel like that's pretty good. I mean, it's math. So math, I had to get 58. Biology, I had to get a 58. reading comprehension, vocabulary, and grammar, I had to get a 72. I don't know. So that's just some random numbers that I made up. I don't really know. So I feel like I did pretty good on my test, and I feel like hopefully these tips that I've given you today can help you prepare for college, prepare for if you want to start nursing or you want to try to get into the nursing program. I hope this is helpful to you. But yeah, I just wanted to come and kind of give you guys a little background on how I did on my HESI test and how I feel like these tips could help you with your HESI test. If you have any questions, please leave them down below in the comment section. If you would like, you can connect with me on any of my social media platforms. I will leave that information listed in the video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.